All right, everyone. Now, how many times have you done this to yourself? I know for sure I have done this, where we keep on attracting the people that are not fully showing up for us. It's like over and over again. They say they're going to, but they actually don't show up at all. I feel like, why do we do this to ourselves?
All right. So, hi there. It's Dr. Lise and Dr. Andrea. What we're going to talk about today in our Soul with Love. Love is safe. If it's not safe, it's not love. So why is it that we keep attracting these people who are emotionally available? Because it's scary. You can feel it. You go after them, and at first it's kind of exciting. It feels like, oh, it's a magnet. You really are attracted and you really want them, but then it's so anxiety producing because you know deep down they're not available. It's not only to you but to everybody else. Why do we keep choosing people who can't fully show up? Like, why do we do this to ourselves? Today we're going to get into the psychology behind it, and it's going to make so much sense. So in this episode we are exploring why we fall for emotionally unavailable partners. So what do you think?
Well, to be honest with you, I think it's because it's safe. You know that they're not going to emotionally attach to you in some weird way. You're like, okay, I'll be safe, then I can't get hurt if I already know subconsciously that it's not going to work out.
It's not going to work out. I'm not going to be trapped into something. And at the same time, it creates anxiety because the more time you spend with someone, the more you get attached to them. Like, this might sound crass, but like, if you have a dog, no, you don't have deep connections with them. You don't talk about, the meaning of life and all that. But by having companionship day in, day out, you create a strong bond with your dog, with your animal, with your pet. And whether you like it or not, when you fall for an emotionally unavailable person, you're going to connect with them more and more and more. And then when it ends, because one of you is going to become, at some point, this is not going to work with you anymore. It's going to break up. And I have seen this, where it actually becomes kind of an addiction. Like, I had this woman come to see me, and she was not sleeping. She was not eating. She was in a relationship with this guy who, even though when she first met him, he told her right from the beginning, I am not available. Like, if you hear that, you meet someone, right away, put a big X. Do not go further. This is dangerous. Because eventually what ends up happening is that if I can't change their mind, then it's going to prove to me that I'm worthy of love. And then the need to change their mind, you cannot change their mind. Like, you yourself can change your mind if you want to, but the other person, the more you try, the more you're needy, and the more you're needy, now the more they want to run away from you. And often I find that people go for emotionally unavailable people because they have been in a relationship with someone who was needy. Like one of the episodes before, we have been, we felt like we lost ourselves, sacrificing ourselves for our partner, and then they dump us. Because when you sacrifice yourself for your partner, you actually give the subconscious message that I'm a doormat, I'm not as important as you. And then after a while, they just dropped you there. They don't want you anymore. And so if you felt that you were sacrificing yourself in that relationship and it hurt so much, then you're going to be like a heat-seeking missile. You're going to want to find that person that's not going to engulf you, that's going to stay away from you. But at the same time, you're going to still lose yourself, because now it's going to be a different type of addiction. You're going to have to convince them that you actually are worthy. And that's why those are really, really challenging situations to be in.
Sure, 100%.
Have you experienced that?
Yeah, sort of.
Sort of. Yeah, when I had this, I was in a relationship like this for 8 years with this man. And as soon as I would show him that I was interested, that I was there, that I wanted to be with him, he would run away. So if I wanted to keep him, I just had to go away from him or start dating somebody else, and then he would come after him. He actually asked me to marry him twice, and every time it was when I broke up with him. So it becomes a yo-yo, a crazy thing that you can hang on for a long, long time, and it was not satisfying. It was so interesting because when he broke up with me, because another woman came into his life, I remember I'm driving my car, and all of a sudden I start crying because I could finally allow myself to feel that I loved him. Before that, I couldn't even allow myself to feel that I loved him. And then I went from that to laughing because it was such relief. It was like, after 8 years, I've finally been able to admit that I loved him and wanted to be with him, but I was so young when I met him. Like, I had confused infatuation for love, so I can understand the poor guy. I needed him like he was my knight in shining armor, and I wanted him so much, so I had no choice but to go away. So me, to compensate for that, I was going the other way to get him to come, which was not fun. Like, it's not a fun relationship. If you're in a relationship like that, I'm not telling you to end it, but I'm highly suggesting is you learn to both of you come together, like especially you don't have to manipulate the other person, because just you changing you is going to change the dynamic, and often then they'll come to the middle. The more we need them, the more they run away. I remember when I met him, I was like 21 years old. I was so young, and it's like, literally I'm a small girl from a small town, and like this guy is like in the movie business and like doing rock videos, and it was like, wow, he's so suave and he has access to all this knowledge, and it was like everything. I remember 3 months into the relationship, I wanted to marry him. Like, I wanted to get married. The poor guy. So, and then I remember one day I went to his house during the day when he was not there, and I went and I painted the banisters. I didn't like painting the banisters, but I was so looking forward to making him happy. Like, I did it just to make him happy. And then when he got home, he took me by the shoulders and go, "Why did you do this? I don't like it when you do things like that." And it was like, okay, now I understand what to do to keep him, which is not healthy. So how do you change the patterns? What do you think you need to do to change the patterns?
To change the pattern, well, you got to go inward. You got to start working on yourself and finding that love for yourself before you're searching for love outside of yourself.
Yeah, it's exactly that. You need to become available to yourself. Like, I was 21 years old when I met him. I had no idea who I was, really. I had no idea what love was. So how was I supposed to know how to act? And coming from my background history and all the stories I had created for myself, like, the poor guy. I feel for him. Like, I'm passionate, to be around me when I'm needy must have been pretty incredible. But that's why I love doing this work with you guys, because you studied with me, you did the work with me, you're one of my great coaches now, and I love empowering people, because you can literally start creating heaven on earth by first learning about loving yourself. What does it mean to love yourself? And then the second part is admitting your dreams and aspirations. What are your dreams and aspirations? Yes, having a great relationship is one of them, but focusing on all the other areas of your life is going to temper that need to make that person everything to you. When we make that one person everything, that's when it's too much. We're not balanced. We need to, that's why, I have a book called Conversation with the Heart, and it's, in my opinion, a pretty good book. And in it, I teach people how to create a consciously loving life for themselves and for others. It's pretty good. One of my clients in Madrid told me, Lise, we have an expression in Spain, your book is all meat, no potatoes. So if you want to be available, you need to start being available to yourself. So if you're ready to stop chasing emotionally unavailable people and start attracting real love, grab my book, Conversation with the Heart. You just go conversationwiththeheart.com and it will be there for you to grow in love for yourself, so that when you're ready to do the subconscious work as well, you can have it all. The conscious part, understanding what love is all about, but then also have tools to get rid of the subconscious fear holding you back. And please share this episode with someone who keeps getting hurt by unavailable partners. Let's break the cycle together, and remember that love is safe, and if it's not safe, it's not love. See you next Thursday. Bye for now.